seriously popular.
Welcome to the Life of Bryony bonus edition. My guest from Monday, Anna Mathur, returns to help me answer some of your listener questions. On Monday, we got to grips about good girl syndrome and the pressures of people-pleasing, topics that resonated deeply with so many of you. Anna's latest book, The Uncomfortable Truth, dives into all of these challenges. Today, Fiona can't account for her mother's bad behaviour. Amara is on the verge of 40 and doesn't feel like it's a party. And is Mia saying no more to her Mr. Nice Guy?
You can't make someone who they are. If he then does it to please her, it might just end up feeling awkward and contrived.
All of your problems solved right after this.
Wow. What's up? I just bought and financed a car through Carvana in minutes.
You? The person who agonized 4 weeks over whether to paint your walls eggshell or off-white bought and financed a car in minutes?
They made it easy. Transparent terms, customizable down and monthly. Didn't even have to do any paperwork.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hey, have you checked out that spreadsheet I sent you for our dinner options?
Finance your car with Carvana and experience total control. Financing subject to credit approval.
What is... Dax, are you?
Tracking all our cars on Carvana Value Tracker on all our devices? Yes, Kristen, yes, I am.
Well, I've been looking for my phone for...
In Dax's domain, we see all. So we always know what our cars are worth.
All of them?
All of them. Value surge, trucks up 3.9%.
That's a great offer.
I know. Sell?
Sell.
Track your car's value with Carvana Value Tracker today.
Okay, our first email. Hi, Bryony and Anna. My mum's getting on a bit, and the other day she asked me to help her set up her new iPad. I'm not an Apple person, so I asked my brother to visit since he's good with tech and has a bit more patience for these things. When Mum found out, she scolded me for wasting his time because, according to her, he's far too busy with his important job in accountancy. The thing is, this is so awful. I'm also an accountant. It's frustrating because it feels like, in her eyes, his time is more valuable than mine just because I work from home. I'm a mum and live nearby. How do I explain to my mother that despite the different setups, my time is just as important as my brother's? And that is from Fiona. Oh my God, Fiona, I feel for you.
Yeah.
We've all been there, Fiona.
Do you know what? I think if Fiona was able to share this with a friend and for her friend to do that empathetic pause of, oh my gosh, that alone is validating. Because she can say to her mum, you know what, Mum? I'm an accountant too, and I'm juggling a lot, and my time is just as precious as his. She may say, oh my gosh, I hadn't thought about that. Of course, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. Or she may not. And actually, I think, again, this is getting a little bit more comfortable with being misunderstood. Being able to do that eye roll and think, okay, you've got me wrong. You're seeing me through your lens. Maybe it's a bit of an old-fashioned lens. Like you think I'm the mum. You think I'm just, I'm just maybe not working the hours. And just being okay with being misunderstood. Yes, validate your own voice by explaining it to her, but know that she may not be able to give you that recognition. Go somewhere where you feel heard and misunderstood. Because I think when it comes to being misunderstood, if we have pockets in our lives where we feel so gotten seen in these moments, then actually it takes the pressure off that person. Otherwise, what we can find ourselves doing is stepping back from that relationship because we feel painfully misunderstood.
I always remember when I came out of rehab, it was Christmas. And obviously there was a cohort coming out of rehab and lots of people were like, how am I going to deal with my family? How am I going to have a sober Christmas with my family? And the counsellor said, remember this, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? And I, of course, thought, well, I want to be both. And he said, no, you can only be one. And what he meant is that sometimes, and he said this, you've just got to smile and wave. This is quite a useful thing to remember, that sometimes there is no changing how other people are, and that's okay. What we need to change is our reaction to it and what's my part in it. And, I think around families as well, especially around parents, I am still at the age of 44, 14, you know, like I still will find myself at Christmas being like, she got my sister a better present. And I'm like, what the hell, you know? And it's just going, okay, we don't have to be that.
Yeah.
Regrounding ourselves in the moment and going, look, maybe your mum's being a bit of a dick because that's just what it's going to be. And do you need to spend any more of your energy today, Fiona, thinking about that? Or do you just want to rise above it?
It can be really painful when the people, like especially if they're family, don't get you and aren't able to validate you or see you. But as long as you can see and validate yourself, because otherwise, you know, if she's not getting that sense of recognition from her mum and she's not recognizing herself, she's going to desperately want to fight to put it right. And we can't.
Yeah.
Always.
But also, has Fiona tried like talking to her brother? Because I bet you her brother is like, oh, Fiona, I'm sorry, mum's being a dick. I can't remember. I'm using the word dick a lot.
Yeah.
Like what, you know, like because I think also what can happen is we can
it validated.
We can almost find ourselves in like face-offs against our siblings. They're like, but why? I don't understand. Like, this isn't me, Fiona. This is mum. Like, come on, she's mum's got a mum.
Yeah, that's why it's helpful to just verbalise these things.
Good luck, Fiona.
Good luck.
We appreciate you and all
We
your
do. We see you.
accountancy work. Email number 2. Hi, Bryony. Hi, Anna. I'm turning 40 soon and I've realised something pretty unsettling. I don't actually know who I am. This isn't from me, by the way. I feel like I don't have any real hobbies or passions. I get that social media is just everyone's highlight reel, but even so, I can't help but feel like I'm on the outside looking in, watching everyone else live these full, vibrant lives while I'm just drifting. It's like I'm existing rather than living, almost like a spectator in my own life. I'm not unhappy exactly, but I'm definitely not content either. I spent so much time doing what's expected of me. I'm not sure who I am outside of that. How do I even start to figure it out? Or is it too late for me? And that's from Amara in Bristol.
Yeah, this is so common. I think when looking at social media, yes, we know it's bollocks. Cognitively, we know it's bollocks, right? That it's all is a highlight reel. But we are hardwired to believe what we see. So it makes sense that we find that hard. And I think when we're questioning things, it can be even harder to try and rationalize what we're saying. But notice the envy. I think sometimes envy can be quite an interesting tool to use when we're wondering who we are. You know, we might look at someone and think, oh, I just feel really jealous of them going traveling. I feel really jealous of them having done something wild with their hair, or I feel really envious of them going away for a night with their girlmates. Sometimes that can just show us actually one of the yearnings that we might have. And how can we lean into that envy and think, well, maybe that's saying that I want a bit of that. What would that look like for me? How can I make that happen? How can I move towards that? And the other thing I think is start noticing what you're not saying. Start noticing what you're not asking for. Start noticing what opinions you're not expressing, because often that is more authentic, right? We all have that first thought that rises up in us, and then the people pleaser or, you know, our current identity will say, I can't say that. I can't do that. I can't ask for that. Or I've just got to agree with that. Actually start noticing what you're overriding, because often that can speak to the more authentic part of you, and just start challenging yourself and thinking, what would it be like if I actually shared that opinion that was conflicting with that other person? What would it be like if I actually said to that person, you know what, I don't like it when you do that. I know you've been doing it 15 years, but actually it's been great on me all that time. What would it be like to start kind of externalizing some of that part of you that maybe you've just kept under wraps? And I think sometimes that's the beginning of starting to realize who we are, because we've suppressed a lot.
Also, what I would say, Amara, is that there are times where we are just sort of pootling along kind of a bit aimlessly. And I think one of the things that the Instagram highlight reels have done, one of the kind of unexpected consequences of that, which is that it makes us think that our life has to constantly have profound meaning, you know? And it just doesn't. Sometimes it's like, sometimes life's a bit meh.
Yeah.
You know, it's not bad. It's not good. It's just very middle of the road. And that's okay. And I think like there are seasons in life, you know, just as there are in the year, you know, and there will be busy times, Amara. There will be times when you're out doing lots and and I just think trust that and maybe just listen to what you need right now instead of what you think you should need.
Yeah, there's that as well, isn't it? What should I be doing at this point in my life? What should I be wanting? What should I be?
And I think milestone birthdays really kind of bring that into our heads, you know, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just going, okay, but it is essentially just another year, and it's okay that I don't quite know what I'm doing right now, you know, and trust the process that maybe, because things change really quickly in life.
Yeah.
I am 44 now, and weirdly, I would say I am like 39 to 44 doesn't seem like that. It's 5 years, you know, but just even in that time, the amount of emotional change and growth, and that things that were completely out of my control that have happened in my life that I could not have seen coming. And some of them are terrible and some of them are amazing. And it's just like, just know that we're not in charge, you know, we are not in charge. So just go with the flow a bit, Amara. I think that's my advice.
Yeah, and boredom can sometimes be a real gift when we go through a bored patch in life and there's not a lot going on. Actually, sometimes when there are curveballs, you know, we crave boredom. We crave just...
Also, yeah, I know there are people out there who would give anything to be bored, you know, like who are going through... I mean, this is not me shaming you, Amara. It's just saying that sometimes we forget that boredom is a bit of a luxury, and I would say, fucking get settled in and get a good box set.
Yeah, sure thing.
Hey, you sold that car yet?
Yeah, sold it to Carvana.
Oh, I thought you were selling to that guy.
The guy who wanted to pay me in foreign currency, no interest, over 36 months? Yeah, no. Carvana gave me an offer in minutes, picked it up, and paid me on the spot. It was so convenient.
Just like that.
Yeah?
No hassle.
None.
That is super convenient.
Sell your car to Carvana and swap hassle for convenience. Pickup fees may apply.
Llévate más de lo que esperas todos los días con el nuevo McValue en McDonald's. Ahora puedes comprar uno y sumarle otro por $1. Así que cuando tu equipo favorito enfrente a sus rivales, enfrenta tus antojos con $5 Meal Deals. Y si estás corriendo para alcanzar el desayuno, corre al app para llevarte ofertas antes del cutoff. Tú decides, y con McValue, tu decisión siempre rinde más. Precios y participación pueden variar. BOGO $1 válido para un producto de igual o menor valor. Debe estar registrado en Rewards para ofertas en el app.
And finally, this is from Mia, but that's not actually her name. She's going by a pseudonym. She says, "Hey, Bryony and Anna. So I met this guy on Hinge who's basically my type on paper. He's kind, thoughtful, ticks all the boxes. Honestly, he's a dream, except there's one issue. He's just too nice, especially in the bedroom. He keeps on asking me if I'm all right and if it hurts. I feel awful saying this, but I would like him to be thoughtless and objectify me a bit more in bed. Is this because I watch too much porn? I know I could try directing him, but the thought of giving a guy a how-to guide in bed just kills the mood for me. I want him to take charge, but he's just so gentle, bless him. I'm stuck between wanting him to be the opposite of who he is in the bedroom and not wanting to ruin a good thing. Help! What do I do?"
Oh, man. I mean, as a therapist and someone who's just spent ages talking about kind of people, I would just be honest.
Oh, no, but I don't know about this.
You can't make someone who they aren't. And it might just end up, if he then does it to please her, it might just end up feeling awkward and contrived and
no, but
clunky.
Listen, yeah, there is a fine line here. But also, I think there might be a bit of self-sabotage going on here with Mia. I think she needs to step back for a moment and ask herself, why does this bother her? Why does this man being nice and asking her what she wants and how she wants things to go, why does that bother her so much?
It could be on both parts, right? It could be that actually she feels suspicious of something good that just seems good through and through. But it also, it could be a bit of anxiety on his part.
Yeah, he could be over-egging the pudding.
Yeah, where he's like
That's not a euphemism.
Worried, maybe from a previous experience of having some negative feedback or something. He's anxious. So he's kind of over-concerned.
She could say, mate, just trust that you're doing...
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Like maybe I would love you to take... Do you know what? Let's call him Steve. I don't know where that name's come
Very
from.
Very sexy name.
Steve, do you know what I love? You're asking me all the time, if I'm all right and this. I would love it if you just really bossed me around a bit.
See what Steve said.
Just taking it like,
Yeah.
and then, also I'm going to put something out here that sex is important, obviously, but it isn't always, you've got to ask yourself, is it the most important thing to you? And maybe it is. I mean, you hint at the fact you watch a lot of porn. I think we do have these kind of like ideas in our head of what sex should be like. And then there's what sex is actually like, if you're lucky, a relationship will go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it is just not possible to be having incredible sex at every turn, in
all the decades.
Nor do you want it to. Like, come on.
But safety comes in time, right? And maybe he's actually feeling a bit anxious, which is why he's being overcautious. And in time, he might relax into it once he feels safer.
This is a good problem to have.
Yeah. That he's too kind. Maybe that's not what she's used to. Maybe it feels uncomfortable. Maybe there's just a conversation that needs to be had.
Have the conversation. And if it's meant to be, the conversation will be fine.
Yes. He could be relieved.
He could be relieved. And if he can't deal with it, then you're not meant to be. And let's move on to the next person on Hinge. Thank you and good night. Episode 12, a dozen done. And I've got great news. There's gonna be an episode 13. Unlucky for some, but we don't engage in magical thinking here, so not for us. Hit subscribe, tell a friend how amazing this podcast is, and I'll see you on Monday.